Okay, thank you very much, Leanna. It is a pleasure to be here. I was asked to do this about a month ago, and I just finished preparing about, half an hour or so ago. So I hope everything goes well. But before I get started in my presentation, I just want to give a shout out to Phyllis Harmon. It happened that I joined a club that she resurrected almost. She saved from the brink of death. New Horizons was this fledgling club here in Tigard, Oregon. And Phyllis came in and she put on her mask and she put on her gloves and she said, "What has to be done to save this club?" And she was just ready to do whatever it took to get this club back and going. And she did the paddles and boom, and she brought it back to life. It was awesome, and it's been awesome for years. And people come and look at our club and look to our club to see, how do you guys do it? That's a little bit of what I'm going to be talking about tonight, about how to attract new members. And this is an interesting concept because to get members, you got to get guests. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about guests and how we look at guests in our club. And then we'll be talking about members and how to keep members. I'm going to start my presentation. I'm going to share my screen. How to attract new members, New Horizons. We meet on Saturday mornings, and that's a very interesting time, even in Zoom world. Why do you guys meet at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning? I'll get to that. And a lot of it's because you still have the rest of your Saturday and you start off your weekend in a very strong manner. The first question you need to ask, how can people find your club? And I'm going to harken back to Phyllis in her Wednesday webinar a couple of weeks ago. There's social media, there's member promotion, there's websites, but it's important that people can find you. This happens through the International, Toastmasters International website, the D7 website, Facebook pages, Instagram. You know, I gotta say, I get confused about how to find my club sometimes. Luckily, I get emails every week. But specifically, we need to think about how to reach out to people, even in this new world that we're in. What makes your club unique? I'm going to ask some questions to you as we go through this presentation. I want you to answer the question. You can even write the questions down if you want to, but I want you to think about how you would answer these questions about your club that you're concerned about here this evening. We're in difficult times with COVID-19, with being shut in. We're getting fatigued in so many ways, and Zoom fatigue is not one of the ones far down the list. As a matter of fact, it's pretty high up the list. 3 positives about your club. Why do guests visit your club? What are 3 reasons the members continue to attend your club? Our club has a phrase that we have, a little slogan that we kind of live by and helps us to direct our ship in a sense. Come for the fun, stay for the growth. If the meetings aren't fun, well, I guess they'll be okay, and people will still learn, and people will still be able to engage with other people. But having that level of fun, having something to look forward to, having a little bit of laughter each Saturday morning, for us it's Saturday morning or once a week in the clubs that you attend, that's really going to help lift your spirits. But stay for the growth. Am I really improving as a public speaker? Am I really improving as a leader? Are my relationships getting stronger by the little things that I learn in Toastmasters? Why do guests visit your club? For many of our guests, it's kind of both. They're searching for a Toastmasters club and they found us on the website, or we have somebody, maybe you heard of him, Cleon Cox. Now, Cleon knows, I don't know, thousands of people. I'm going to say thousands. And he is always inviting people to join a Toastmasters club. And if they need a specific club to attend, well, he kind of mentions New Horizons every once in a while just to say, hey, this is a good club, check it out. They're one of many, but we appreciate his efforts to bring people to our club. And we're beginning to expand those efforts too, as more and more people are in more and more Zoom meetings, meeting more and more people in this virtual reality that we're living in these days. What are 3 reasons that members attend the club? They get to meet people, they get to build relationships, they get to push themselves in a manner and in a place they wouldn't otherwise push themselves. They get to do some things that they wouldn't otherwise do through leadership roles. All of those really help to embrace the strengths of Toastmasters. What does your club do that's fun, even occasionally? A few years ago, we decided to have themes at our meetings. First, it started once a quarter. So once every 3 months, we would go ahead and we would have a special theme meeting. It started out in September when we discovered there's Talk Like a Pirate Day. Oh, that was so wonderful. We would get dressed up and we would do speeches, but we had to do it in that pirate accent. It was fun. It was wonderful. And we even continue to do it virtually now. You see, we have Halloween themes, we have relationship themes around Valentine's Day, we have beach themes in the summer, and that just kind of adds a little dimension of fun in the meetings that we have on a regular basis. So even occasionally plan for fun. Of course, there's the occasional fun happens anyway. What do you do to help guests feel welcome? Now, this is also part of a culture. And members like to be part of a group that's welcoming, that's growing, that's engaging in a positive way. And these are a few things that a lot of people, well, I think do. I know we do it. We do greet guests at the beginning of the meeting. We ask them, so how did you find us? What brought you here? We might ask them to participate in table topics, and they have the right to say no, not today. And sometimes we even ask if they would like an application for membership. There's other things that you can do as well. There's ways that you can have people connect with people who are guests. Hopefully, typically some member is connected with them and that's how they got there. But if they found us through a website, how do you follow up? How do you connect with them? How do you make sure that they feel as though they understand everything that needs to be presented and that they're looking for in a Toastmasters club is there for them? One of the aspects of a club that really helps both guests and members is the idea that it's fun, it's welcoming, and it's a safe place. There's not too many places you can come dressed up like a pirate or whatever and feel that you're a good part of the group. But even if you, for whatever reason, don't get dressed up, you're still part of the group and you're still having a great time. Why do guests return? Why do members return? Why do we keep coming back week after week after week? Boy, that sounds boring when I say it like that. When you stop and think about what Toastmasters can provide, sometimes I think it's sort of like an AA meeting. Now, I don't mean that to be critical or overly funny, but when you stop and think about public speaking, it has been said in the past that public speaking is more feared than death. And I thought about that a lot over the years. And I've seen people come to Toastmasters for the first time and they are nervous. They are just so nervous and so afraid to speak in front of a group, but they know they just got to try. They just got to figure out a way to do it. One of the things that I like about our club is it's a great place to fail. It's a wonderful place to say, wow, I really messed up that time. You're trying something new, you're stepping out, you're expanding your comfort zone, and you realize you just went a little too far, a little too fast, a little too soon. There was one experience where somebody came to our club. He was a member of the club, and boy, he was ready. I mean, he was ready for this. And he was dressed up and he came out with a Rocky theme. And after the theme, he took a breath, completely forgot what he was going to say. Completely. He was frozen. So the Toastmaster came up, said, would you like to take a minute, give it another try? And he said yes. So we all took a bit of a deep breath. We all kind of said, oh, I hope this helps. I hope this works. He comes out again, You could see the focus in his face. You could see the determination in his eyes. Bump, 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 bump. Nothing. He completely forgot his speech. Didn't want to say third time's a charm that time. Now, what also added to my particular memory of that experience was I was his evaluator. I was going to have to get up in a few minutes and give this guy an evaluation. What am I going to say? Boy, you really messed that one up. No, I can't say that. I'm glad I'm not you. No, I can't say that either. So what we did was say, great job. It is obvious that you were prepared. It's obvious that you were focused. It's obvious that you really wanted to do a great speech. So much so that you even tried to do it a second time. You got your confidence, you got your focus back, you got your presence, and you came in front of us and you tried to do it one more time. And I applaud you for that, because I don't know if I would have been able to do that. But we learn a lot through our mistakes. We learn a lot through our failures. So we talked a little bit about maybe how to do some mnemonic devices to remember how to get that speech started after the song, of course. And then I ended by saying, I really look forward to hearing that speech in the near future. Thank you. And that gentleman did come back a couple months later, and he did do that speech, and it was wonderful because he felt and he knew that our club was a safe place. I tell that people all the time, well, I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. Do it here. Do it here. You're among friends. We can help you figure out those opportunities for improvement and how to do it the best. So when you're a guest in the club or you're a member of a club and you know that your club's a very safe place, who wouldn't want to come back? Who wouldn't want to be part of that opportunity to just go ahead and give it a try and see what happens? The real challenge in our day and age today is Zoom meeting. Boy, I don't know about you. So you heard that I teach high school. I have Zoom meetings about 7 hours a day, and most of them I lead. Why would I come to another one on a Saturday morning? Again, I'm with friends. I'm in a safe place. I can take chances. All of that stuff is valuable. And the question there is, when guests become members, why do they do that? And what makes your meeting compelling? What makes your Toastmasters Club's meeting compelling? For those of you who might be in sales, WIIFM might sound a little bit familiar to you, but let's face it, we are basically selfish creatures. What's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? I'm giving you my time. I'm giving you my membership fee. I'm giving you whatever expertise I have to bring along to the club. What am I going to get in return? Okay. I get growth in return. I get relationships in return. I get the opportunity to try things I never thought I would try. But the other really amazing thing about these clubs is you get to learn things from people that you otherwise would not have learned. I learned about the solar eclipse 2 years before people started getting excited about it, because I happened to be at a Toastmasters meeting and somebody presented that fact 2 years ahead of time. I thought, this is so awesome. I know this 2 years ahead of time. So people would ask me, oh, did you hear about the solar eclipse coming? I said, oh, yeah, I heard about that. Another reason that I like our particular club, I'm not familiar with too many other clubs, and part of the reason Saturday morning at 8 o'clock works so well is we have a very diverse club. We have members that have been members for less than a year. We have members that have been members for over a decade or even 2 decades. We have members that were born and bred in Oregon and members that come from countries around the other side of the world. We have members who are young adults. We have members that aren't so young adults. We have a great variety. We have a great variety of people who have experience in public speaking and those not so much. Those who only know English and those whose English is their second, third, or maybe even fourth language. And that diversity and that richness that we can enjoy amongst all of our members is something that also enriches all of us. When we think about why people should join our club or why people do join our club, I always think about WIIFM, but it's kind of WIIFT. What's in it for them? And we have to think about how we're going to engage them in a very personal level and in a very engaging way. Everybody has that first reason they come to Toastmasters. Maybe somebody they know that they appreciate and enjoy invited them. Maybe they're going to be speaking at a wedding in 3 months. Maybe they're in between jobs and they're going to go on interviews and they got to get more comfortable with how they present themselves personally. There's a lot of reasons. But we got to make sure that we know what it is, and we got to make sure that we help meet that need as best as we can. This is the big one for me. Why did people renew their membership? As was mentioned earlier, I joined New Horizons Toastmasters back in 2012. And when I tell some people that, they think, wow, you've been a member for a long time. And then I think of Cleon and I think, well, no, not really. But in a sense, I have been. And personally, I've been through a lot over those 8 years. But I always come back to Toastmasters. For me, it is a consistency in my life. It's an opportunity for me to continue to grow in my life. It's an opportunity for me to watch other people grow as they experience Toastmasters. And it's been a real positive experience for many years. Okay? But we need to ask them. When they renew, do we ask them why? And that's kind of a dangerous thing to say, oh, you're renewing? Why are you renewing? It's kind of a bad way to say it. But in a sense to say, we're glad that you're renewing your membership to this club. What do you like? What can we do better? And that's really what, for me, what Toastmasters is all about. How often is membership discussed in the club? And maybe not exactly membership as far as dues are coming up, make sure you get them in on time. But about what kinds of enrichments membership in Toastmasters provides for people. In a lot of ways, I think Toastmasters is one of the best kept secrets out there. So many people can be so enriched by joining Toastmasters and participating on a regular basis and making that commitment to step up to leadership roles, to club leadership roles, to doing some contests, doing all the things that we do as Toastmasters. There's so much more than just standing in front of people and speaking publicly. But we know that. And every once in a while, we have to be reminded of that. And as we think about the benefits of membership, we really do need to think about how that applies to us and how we can help it apply to other people. As we're thinking about how we can attract new members, I want you to think of yourself as a new member. I want you to think of yourself as somebody who says, well, you know, I really like you guys, you know, but wow, you know, every week, really? Oh, you know, and how would you answer that question? How would you say to somebody else who says, you go to Toastmasters every week? You've been going for over 8 years? And it's almost as though they don't want an answer to the question because they're afraid they're going to get engaged too much. But one of the riches of Toastmasters in my book is we know when to stop talking. We know when The time is up for people, for the next person to come in line. And that's an important thing for guests and members to understand as well. They're part of a community. They're part of a group of people who are all in this together. And in this means, yes, we want to improve our public persona. We don't want to improve our public speaking. We also want to improve our leadership roles. We also want to improve our relationships with other people. You know, I think about my social circle. Of course, it's shrunk a lot since the middle of March, but this social circle, this opportunity to see other people, to learn from other people, to talk with other people, you know, that's going to stay. That's going to stay because we are able to really enrich our lives in so many ways. And that's why I like our slogan, come for the fun and stay for the growth. Come for the fun are going to get guests to engage in your club, to participate, to give it a chance, but staying for the growth. And they're going to see the growth in the people who participate in your club. And that's what's going to turn them into members. And that's what's going to keep them as members as the years go by.